ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It is Friday, January 23rd. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line is open. It's 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. What are we going to do this weekend? That's probably the big question here. If you are just joining us and you haven't found out yet, Marshall's game against South Alabama has been postponed. So the league makes that announcement earlier this morning. So it's going to be rescheduled for Monday, February 16th. Going to be a 7 o'clock tip. Now, let me tell you what you need to know about the ticket situation. First of all, if you've got your paper ticket, if you have the physical ticket, it's still good for the game. The game hasn't been canceled. It's just been postponed. So if you have a physical ticket in your possession, show up with that ticket, and that'll get you in the game. If you have an electronic ticket, that is going to update. So you don't have to worry about that. And of course, if you get questions, you can call, obviously, the ticket office. But the game was going to be played at noon tomorrow, moved from the 4 o'clock tip time previously, and now postponed. Probably the best thing. I'm not sure with everyone's talking about the weather. We don't know what's going to happen today, tomorrow, the next couple of days. Of course, I'll probably be here on Monday. We don't believe in snow days at Kinder Communications. Absolutely not. We'll be here for you. Hopefully I'll be here for you as well. But seriously, though, the weather is going to be impacting a lot of events going on this weekend as far as Marshall's concerned. If the weather's not too bad, it's more about South Alabama's travel. So that's where we're at with this right now. But it means we get Monday basketball. That's not too terrible. I'll do a Monday game, Monday, February 16th. That's not that far away anyway. And it's still plenty of time to get that game in before, of course, the start of the Sun Belt Conference tournament, because the tournament begins Tuesday, March 3rd. If I've got that right, if I'm looking at it right now. And so Marshall will play on February 16th. And that's okay because Marshall doesn't have to worry about anything until the 19th. So you've got the game on, obviously you're going to play on Valentine's Day. You're going to be at Georgia Southern. And you're going to come back home. And you got a day. You turn right around Monday. You're going to play that game. And then you got a couple of days in between. Then you have the App State game, which will be on Thursday, February 19th. That is going to be on the road. And then you're going to be at Coastal Carolina on that Saturday, February 21st. And then you come back and you got the final games February 24th at home against Old Dominion. And then that other game against Georgia Southern is going to be on Friday, February 27th. So it clusters out all right. And then you wait and see where you're at in the tournament. And it might not be immediately, game day for the Herd. Marshall might have itself in a position to play maybe, in the quarterfinal, semifinal, one of those situations where you don't have to, really play that far into the schedule. You just show up for a couple of days, 2 or 3 days, and you win. Those days, you win a championship. Might be one of those situations still. Marshall's got itself back in a better position than it could have if Marshall would have lost this game against ULM. And, of course, the other game going on against ULM right now, and it's almost over. Marshall women are in action on the road at ULM, and it's an 80-72 game at this moment, about 20 seconds left, and Marshall's got the lead. So it's an 8-point lead. Marshall's leading at the moment. Hopefully that holds, and then Julie Folks and her squad can come home after losing the first two on the road. Winning yesterday, beat Southern Miss 61-52. And now with this game winning against ULM, getting itself back a little bit better. Could have been even better if Marshall could have held on and won 4 on the road. I would have taken 3 or 4. 4 would have been better, but I would have taken 3 or 4. But this isn't terrible. Marshall's got itself put back in a good situation. So it looks like there's 18 seconds now on the clock, and Marshall leading that game still 80-72. Marshall's taken a 30-second timeout. So we'll get you updated on that score when it goes final. And again, it looks like Marshall's going to hang on and win that game. But that's the news today. It's the weather, rescheduling everything. We do have things happening, and the NFL, of course, will not reschedule due to the weather. That's going to happen this weekend. We'll have that for you on Sunday right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930 as Denver will play host to New England, and then the Rams will play host to Seattle. All of those games coming up on Sunday, so we'll have that as well. Hopefully all of us will be able to dig out. We won't be snowed in. We'll be okay. This will not be as bad as we think it will be, whatever the case may be. I was told by a lady today, I was out for a little bit. I had to run some errands real quick while I had a moment. And I went out, got some lunch, had to run, drop something off. And there was a lady in line. And I don't know why she just did it. She just looked over to me and said, "Don't go to Kroger. It's a madhouse. Don't go to Kroger." Yes, ma'am. I will not go to Kroger. Because I went a couple days ago. I got my milk a couple days ago. I got some eggs a couple days ago. I got dinner rolls a couple nights ago. So, that counts as bread, right? But that was just the funniest thing. I'm sitting there and waiting in line. I try to smile at everybody because I don't know what kind of bad day they're having. I know, honestly, for the most part, everybody looks pretty miserable. So I try to smile at everybody I possibly can and just so they don't add to their bad day. And just the lady just looks at me and, smile friendly. Just says that. I'm like, "Yes, ma'am. I'm not going to Kroger." So I'm not sure if I'm giving you that advice, and it looks like we might be at final. And if that's the case, Marshall is 182-75. That is the final. Just now finished the game, 82-75. That is the final score. The Marshall women have defeated ULM. I'll tell you what we'll try to do. I don't know if we can go to it. We might go to it live. I'm going to see if I can get us into the Zoom on that one so we can hear from Julie Folks, just get her comments, as we're going through the show. So we'll do that here in a few minutes. And we'll try to go to that live if possible. And until then, we'll open up the text line for you, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That's going to be our number to be a part of today's show here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So looking forward to hearing all of you be a part of today's show. We'll do that when we continue on this edition of The Drive. It is ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
The traditional light bulb, a groundbreaking invention in 1879. It's time we switch to longer-lasting Energy Star light bulbs. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Miss an episode? Catch it anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We continue on with this Friday edition of Your Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Marshall women winning just a few minutes ago on the road at ULM, 82-75. We're going to join in the Zoom just as soon as Coach Folks makes her way to the post-game availability. We're going to jump right in and we're going to bring that to you live. So until then, we've got you covered. Hold off on the text line just for a few minutes. We're trying to work some problems out there. I just want to give you guys a heads up. If you've texted in already, I haven't been able to access that just yet. The box seems to be on the fritz. So I'm sending really important people to go smack it around a little bit. But you can find me on X at Paul Swann. So we've got you covered there. If you are on social media, you want to shoot me, hey, you know what? DMs are open. Shoot me a message there. I'll be able to see it and we'll talk about it. But again, if you're texting just now, I haven't been able to get to it just yet. We will try our very best, but there are some alternate ways to get a hold of me. And that includes X at Paul Swann. Or you can email me. I believe we've got it set up. It'll come to me. I get it. Paul at ESPN94.1.com, or I think it's Paul Swann at ESPN94.1.com. So, yeah, some different ways to go about the show today, but we got you covered either way. So, again, just waiting to hear from Coach Folks as the Thundering Herd going on the road and winning back-to-back games. Thundering Herd getting the win over ULM 82-75. But until then, wow, are we still really talking about what happened yesterday with the three-point shooting that Marshall put on? Got a lot of attention across the country yesterday. A lot of people are talking about it. It hasn't happened like that in a long time. I don't care the opponent. It doesn't matter. Marshall went off and was shooting well, especially from the three-point line. And so you got to give the Herd credit for that, putting it all together. And at the same time, I don't think you understand that if Marshall's starting to feel that good from the three-point line, start feeling good from the field shooting, that should carry over. Now, I know they would have loved to have played against South Alabama tomorrow. Now you got to push that one back a little bit. Now, Marshall's next game is going to be 8 o'clock Wednesday at Texas State. Hopefully the weather will permit there. Now, the one thing that is still going on at the Cam Henderson Center, swim and dive. There's a meet scheduled. It's going to be against Toledo. It's 9:30 a.m. at the natatorium at the Cam Henderson Center. So if you were planning on going to that, that's still going on. That's the regular season finale, and it's going to be senior day as well. So if you were planning on doing that, you can still go out early morning and support the herd if you're looking for something to do early on, or if you're just planning on going and supporting the herd before basketball. That's still a strong possibility for you, since I don't think we're going to have any weather problems at that point just yet. We'll see, though. We're all preparing for the snowmageddon, the white death, the apocalypse. All of that's coming up. So just follow a few of us on our socials. I'll try to pass on some updates as well at Paul Swann. I don't think that we'll be okay, though. I think we'll be okay. I don't think we'll have anything that's really going to come and hit us real hard. But until then, we're waiting for Coach Folks to join the post-game Zoom so we can hear her thoughts on the win against ULM. So we're going to go to that as soon as that's available. So we're going to hang out here for just a few minutes just to see if she'll come sooner than later, take care of any post-game obligations beforehand. But at the same time, we got some things to get into. Let's go with the stuff we didn't get a chance to talk about yesterday, because I really wanted to first of all, get into what Marshall's trying to do. There's a lot of restructuring going on, and it's not change for change's sake. I don't think that. It's not change for change's sake. And the first one, we alluded to this a little bit, but Andrew Brown, I don't know if you're familiar with Andrew. He's been on the show a few times. He's Marshall's Senior Associate Director of Athletics for Capital Projects and Championship Facilities. That's a big title, but sometimes you got to give guys that do a lot big titles. And he's been selected by the National Association of Collegiate Directors of Athletics. He's going to be participating in an event. It's the NACDA Senior Administrators Mentoring Institute. And there's only 100 senior-level administrators that receive this grant to participate. So he's going to be doing this a few times. It's going to be a multi-event. All right, I think we're almost, by the way, we're getting ready for Coach Folks. It looks like, according to the Zoom, they're connected at ULM. So we'll just hold it here for a second just to let you know. We'll probably jump to that quickly. At the same time, though, we were mentioning Andrew Brown. And so this is a rare opportunity. Not everybody gets to do this. This gives him an opportunity to get some new ideas, to learn, and to also network. That's a big one as well. So this is really just a cool personal thing for Andrew that, of course, is going to benefit Marshall as well, because his treasure and talents will continue to be in service at Marshall University. And the other one, and again, I'm going to be jumping back and forth all over the place here because we're trying to do everything at the same time, is Marshall changed up a few things, launches something it's called Herd Hospitality and Entertainment. Now, Herd Hospitality and Entertainment, it's, according to the release, it's a newly structured department which unifies strategies for optimum fan experiences that builds bonds between community and Marshall University. And so the focus here is revenue generation, fan engagement, marketing, premium experiences, analytics. That number always comes out. Okay, we've got Coach Folks. Let's go ahead and see what she has to say after the win.
Charter company yelling at me that we need to get going.
Okay, let's go.
Recording in progress.
And again, we're going live.
Coach Folks, following Marshall's win over ULM, coach us an opening statement, and then we'll go questions.
I was really proud of our group. We knew that we were given a really hard challenge and being asked by the conference to play back-to-back away weeks and then being asked to play 2 games in under 24 hours. And, one of the things I'm really proud of is this is a group that the harder the challenge, the more they rise. And we knew we put a lot of effort into the halftime of the first half of the Southern Miss game, and we talked about it. We had burned energy, and so we had to get that win. And then today, I thought they did a great job. And honestly, I thought our staff did a great job with the turn and finding a way for us to have a chance in that game. It was a really gutsy effort, and proud of them. It's going to help us in the conference tournament when you have to do this back-to-back, but thankfully not travel 3.5 hours in the middle.
Coach, what's that say about the mentality of this team to suck it up and to say, look, we can still do this? And then after maybe getting your legs back after that first quarter, it seemed they controlled it the rest of the way.
Yeah. Core values can't be just things you say. You got to live it. And ours are, we got to show up, we got to work hard, and we got to adapt. And there were 100 things about the last 2 days that we had to adapt and change, and other challenges, just that come sometimes with the course of traveling. And it's something that we take a lot of pride in. And we always ask ourselves the same 3 questions after every game. How was I as a teammate? How was I at controlling my emotions? And how was I at basketball? And we have a growth mindset. And so each day we ask ourselves that, we talk about it. But the thing I already know about this team is they have toughness. And when we can stay together and keep picking each other up and be great teammates, we always have a chance.
Coach, the runs you guys made at the end of the first and the end of the second kind of stuck out in terms of, coming back a little bit, and then eventually that leads to the third where you guys get going. You just talk about kind of resiliency when
he came out with a lot of quick hitters, and then they hit the shots off the quick hitters. And so sometimes with the zone, you have to live with that, especially against teams that we haven't seen. And, we didn't have, our prep was walking through for 10 minutes in the hotel because we didn't want to ask them to, try to spend a lot of energy this morning. We wanted them to sleep. And so that was just going to be tough. And so we knew this was probably the hardest matchup you could get, a team that's going to press and trap everywhere. So we tried to keep a lot of things simple, and, just keep picking each other up, because if you're going to go against a team like that, there's going to be mistakes, there's going to be moments. And if you can stay together long enough, that's how you beat teams that do that.
Coach, this is my last one because I know you got to bounce as well. What kind of life lesson does something like the last 25 hours teach this team? Because, when you're an adult, you think, all right, I got this schedule, A, B, C, and D, and all of a sudden work throws you a big curveball. And how do you think they'll learn from this, for the rest of the year and then in adulthood? I
think it's the best lesson everybody can learn. I think, anybody who's really rigid in life, it's just much harder because life continues to throw curveballs. And, as you get older and now you're balancing, family and kids and your job and all the other things that happen, life is constantly changing. And so I think, what we're always trying to teach them is, how do we show up, still be positive, still be good people when everything around us is changing? And, there's the things we can control, and then we got to let go of the things we can't. And we couldn't control the schedule we were given. We could control a lot of things within that, and we could control how, our perspective. And, sometimes we got to remind ourselves, we don't have 2 people on our trip this week, who are back because of injuries who would love to be here. And, so we're going to be grateful for hard challenges rather than look at them as, oh, woe me. So I'm proud of this group, but I think it matters in life.
Just looking ahead really quick, Coach, and letting you get out of here, but blessing in disguise a little bit. I know that the last 25 hours were tough, but you do get to get back tonight. You do get to sleep in your own bed. You've got a home week next week, and I know the storm's coming. You don't have to worry about travel next week with everything that's coming. Is it kind of, okay, we got through this, now let's look ahead to the positives, and you've got 2 here next week and momentum going into them?
Yeah, one of our players in the nicest way said, am I allowed to say, are we having both days off? They need a break. And so to get both wins and then to get a bonus back-to-back day off to recharge and rest. And, we had a lot of people that got hit in the head and face today and injuries. It'll be good for everybody. Like, you got to emotionally recharge, physically recharge. And to do that after 2 wins is way more fun. And then we'll get back in the cam where we love playing.
Coach, thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys.
And that was Coach Folks live on the road as the Thundering Herd getting the victory over ULM. We will continue with today's edition of The Drive. Hopefully we'll get that text line going. If not, you can find me on X at Paul Swann. You can also email me directly. It's Paul Swann at ESPN941.com. More coming up. This is The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Hurt at work? Warner Law Offices is now here for you in Huntington on 4th Avenue, across from the courthouse. Personal, local, decades of experience.
Call 345-6789.
Looking for midweek fun? Head to Frank's Place, where every night's a party. Wednesdays are full of brains and brews with trivia night. Grab your crew and show off what you know. Thursdays, crank it up with Singo Bingo. Music meets bingo for prizes and laughs. Then Fridays, we hand you the mic for karaoke night. Sing your heart out and start your weekend right. The fun never stops at Frank's Place. Great drinks, great friends, and good times. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Looking to earn a degree without the big price tag? At Ashland Community and Technical College, you can get a 2-year degree for less than a 4-year school. Enjoy smaller class sizes and more personalized attention from dedicated instructors. Plus, with scholarships and financial aid options available, you can make your education even more affordable. Start on your path today at ACTC. Apply online at ashlandactccs.edu. Your success equals our success.
Looking for fast, easy, and secure electronic banking? Community Trust Bank has a wide variety of banking services to meet your needs, including internet banking, bill pay, and mobile banking. We have even more great services like Apple Pay and Google Pay. Make payments directly from your smartphone. And Zelle, a fast, easy, secure way to send and receive money from your smartphone. Visit us on the internet at ctbi.com or stop by and see us at one of our 79 branch offices.
Community Trust Bank. Building communities built on trust. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
I'm Naheem Hines, professional football player and proud supporter of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14, and I watched her struggle. But MDA helped her get the best treatments and care, and they also help kids like my buddy Ethan.
My name is Ethan. Thanks to the Muscular Dystrophy Association and people like you, I have more hope than ever before. From day one, they've treated me like family at my local care center. MDA is the only one that funds over 150 care centers across the U.S. to help provide state-of-the-art care for adults and kids like me.
MDA has been transforming the lives of people living with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and other related neuromuscular diseases. They fund the research for breakthrough treatments, care, and cures. And MDA provides support to thousands of families like mine and Ethan's in communities like yours. Thanks to MDA, kids and adults can live life to its fullest. Join us and learn more at mda.org today.
11-year-old Hazel lives in a place that's rich in many things, but not money. As a young child, her job is to play, grow, and learn. But for kids like her in the world's poorest places, poverty gets in the way. There was a time when Hazel had to trek more than 2 hours every day to collect water from a dirty river. Once, when she got a life-threatening infection and her mother had no money for a hospital, Hazel nearly died. But thanks to Child Fund supporters, Hazel and her community now have clean drinking water and access to healthcare. And Hazel has a better chance to fulfill her potential. Child Fund works in 24 countries to make sure children grow up healthy, educated, self-sufficient, and safe, wherever they were born. Why? Because Child Fund knows the promise inside every child is greater than the poverty around them. Learn more at childfund.org.
Hi, this is Dave Wilson, host of Metro News Talk Line, and you're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
All right, we are back to normal. We got the text line going. Thundering Herd won on the road. Coach Folks and her squad will be heading back soon. They've got a couple of days off to recharge and rest, and we are ready to go. 304-396-TALK is the text line. 304-396-8255. That's our number to be a part of today's show here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So I don't know when this text came in, so I'll go ahead and answer this one anyway. Texter wants to know, what about tomorrow's swim meet? HerdZone.com still has it on the schedule along with the away ladies basketball game. I just tuned in. You may have said it. Okay, so the Marshall women's game just concluded. So the women got the win. So that's the good news. And so Herd's back in Huntington probably tonight, depending on how soon that the charter can get going. So Marshall women's basketball just wrapped up, and we had Jolie Folks on just a few minutes ago. If you missed that, that'll be part of the podcast later. So Marshall gets that win, 82-75. Now, as far as the swim meet is concerned, that is still going on because the weather seems to not be a detriment to travel. It won't be a factor, at least at this moment, unless something comes down in the middle of the night and we don't know what's going to happen. So that's still going on. I mean, Toledo could be here now, and so they're just going to go ahead and compete tomorrow and then go from there. But as it stands, you got the swim meet tomorrow. Basketball has concluded. The men's game is postponed. That will be a Monday game. That's going to be February 16th. If I look at that correctly, again, let me pull my notes on. We've been multitasking all show long. We just got so much to get into. But that's where we're at right now with the Herd. And, of course, if you got any other questions, you can join in 304-396-TALK. It's 304-396-8255 to be a part of today's show here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. What else we got going on? Well, we were about ready to talk about the Herd hospitality and entertainment. So let me backtrack a little bit. First of all, again, because I didn't get a chance to get to it yesterday, shout out to Andrew Brown, Marshall Senior Associate Director of Athletics for Capital Projects and Championship Facilities. Nice thing for him. He has been selected by the National Association of Collegiate Directors of Athletics to participate in that organization's Senior Administrators Mentoring Initiative. It's like an institute that they do. So congratulations to him. That's going to be definitely beneficial for him in his career personally and professionally. Now, the other thing that happened yesterday that we didn't get a chance to talk about, we touched on it briefly at the basketball game, but you know Ryan Crisp, who joins us a lot. Usually it comes down to, hey, if you get a question, call Crisp. I mean, I almost need to put that just in my phone book, on my contacts, call Crisp. But Ryan Crisp is going to be leading this department. It's a new department. Again, Herd Hospitality and Entertainment. It's going to focus on, as the release said, unifying revenue generation, fan engagement, marketing, premium experiences, and analytics. So everything comes under one department. So they're going to try to basically make it fun for you, grow revenue, which supports Marshall, is what it is. And Ryan Crisp, he's going to lead the department. He's going to be newly known as the Associate Athletic Director of Revenue Generation. So on the front side of this, it's going to be easier to say his title next time we talk to him. So Ryan Crisp, Associate Athletic Director of Revenue Generation. A little bit more to kind of learn. He's been named so many things, so now he gets this title. So he's going to oversee the coordination of ticketing strategies, fan acquisition and retention, and integrated marketing methods and efforts. And here's what the department looks like. So you got Devin Miller, who's going to be the Assistant Athletic Director of Ticket Sales and Operations. You have Shade Hutchinson, Director of Ticket Sales. Aaron Jackson's going to be the Assistant Director of Ticketing. So this falls under the key areas of focus. This is ticketing. Premium experiences. Emily Suter, Director of Premium Seating, Donor Experiences, and Special Events. Emily is a baller. That's going to be a great job for her. And then Mateo Flores is going to be the Graduate Assistant, Premium Seating and Tickets. So this is the premium experiences. What does that mean? It means premium seating sales, operations, donor engagement initiatives, community liaison, premium space rentals of Marshall athletic venues. Hey, you want to have a birthday party on the Dutch Miller Sky Deck? I'm sure they got a thing for that. If not, Emily will put that together. That includes the deck, the big green room, the stadium itself, Sky Deck, Hartley Room, baseball club spaces at Jack Cook Field. Then there's fan engagement. And Matt Lewis is going to be the director of marketing and fan engagement. So Matt's going to be leading the creative and strategic marketing. That's kind of the way the release outlines it. Fan engagement initiatives, promotional planning, trying to enhance what they consider the brand of the game day experience. Lauren Bentley is going to be the assistant director of marketing and fan engagement. They've got a grad assist there. Evan Williamson's going to be the director of video board operations. And there's a few other people in that department as well. They've got an analytics part of this. And they have a director of data analytics. Matthew Carnes is going to be the director of that. And so what does that mean? Well, this will drive data information, decisions that will be formed based on this, a lot of metrics. So you've got this new team now that the athletic director has put together. So if you ask, hey, what is Gerald Harrison doing these days? He's restructuring a lot of things at Marshall University, and that just kind of makes sense. I mean, long gone are the days of, hey, we need a few of you guys to write us this big check so we can build this thing. Cool. All right, here's my check. We'll put your name on part of it. Okay, cool. Those days are gone, right? The donors, I'm not saying donors are drying up. What I am saying is it's just people aren't just going to drop checks the way they used to. And if they are, still great. But you're going to have to find some alternate sources of revenue. It's going to have to be fan-driven, obviously. You're going to have to find new sources of revenue. Spaces at Marshall University, especially across the athletic facilities, will have to make money. That's what they're there for now, to make money to fuel the new economy of athletics. And so you look at the Henderson Center. Sky Deck there, the space is now a little bit different than it was. You have the Thunder tables in the end zone. Those are a little bit more premium since the chair seats on the court are all taken. Those tables are all taken as well. And so you got to come up with a little bit more of a premium experience for fans that want to elevate their experience. And I would also hope that one day, and this came up, I don't know what you can do with the current facility, the Henderson Center, but if Marshall ever would have a complete overhaul of the Cam Henderson Center or a new facility, there would be premium seating. I don't know how many of these sky boxes you want to call those or the suites you would have, but you'd have to have some premium seating to kind of start paying for a few more of these things. Give people that want the premium experience the opportunity to pay for the premium experience. You give it to them, and that generates revenue. So, all of that's going to flow into this, and I'm sure there are a lot of things that are behind the scenes that are in the works or they're workshopping right now, but this is a response to how athletics has to function in the 21st century. And so that means you got to find ways to attract new people or attract premium dollars. Long gone are the days of just, hey, we need this cash. Okay, here's my check. Cool, thank you. Because it's experience-based now, as much as anything. I mean, you still have people that are going to give, like, hey, I want to support the scholarship. But really, what is supporting the scholarship? And that's probably a big green question. But you still need to support the scholarship, right? You need to be able to offer the scholarship, offer the tuition waiver. But what's next? How do you generate revenue? Well, you create premium spaces. You create experiences. Sometimes it's, hey, if you give it a certain level, you get to go on the plane, or you get maybe first crack at some things. Well, those are going to be limited opportunities at best. And so, okay, how can you capture new dollars? And if you look around the concourse at the Henderson Center, there's some different things that are going on now. Just small little improvements, and it's going to continue and it's going to increase. But premium spaces are always going to be the thing to do. So what's next at Jones C. Edwards Stadium? Once you get the sky deck really going, what's next? What about that other end zone under the scoreboard? What's going to happen there? Is that going to be transformed into a different experience as well? Will there be some suites over there? Will there be I don't know if it's the mislabeled party deck. Is that going to happen? So there are lots of things that could happen, and Marshall's now getting ahead of it by putting this organization, this structure back together. And no longer is it just about dollars and tickets and, I get a sideline pass. No, that stuff is way, way 20th century. By the way, there was another hire as well. And so Tyler Ferris named the Associate Athletic Director for Major Gifts. And Tyler had been gone a couple of years. He's familiar with a lot of people. So he was there a few years ago, and then he left, spent the last 2 years at UNC Asheville. He was the Assistant Athletic Director for Advancement. And so he's now going to be the Associate Athletic Director for Major Gifts. And that, of course, means you've got someone else that's going to be trying to come up with a lot of these revenue sources. I mean, these things still are needed. But you're going to have an arm of Marshall University that's creating these experiences, generating this type of revenue creation, bringing in new fans, and then you're going to have still the need for, look, you love Marshall. Hey, can you give us a gift to kind of keep it going? And of course, there'll be some opportunities as well for donors who decide to do that. So there are a lot of opportunities. It's just how do you want to spend your money? How do you want your money invested at Marshall University seems to be the ultimate. There's this direction, there's that direction, and of course, hey, you know what? I kind of want my money tied into, hey, I'm going to pay a little bit more for, I don't want to say a better experience, just like I want a premium experience. Yeah, I'll say it. Hey, I'm going to give you a little bit more money. I want you to make my experience better, is what I would say. The herd's saying, hey, look, we've got premium experiences. Everybody has a level of experience that they can be a part of. We want to make sure all the experiences are great. But, if you want to just come to the game, watch it from your seat, we've got experiences for you. You want to sit and watch the game from high above, we got those opportunities for you. If something opens up on courtside, we got that experience for you as well. So that's what everything is going to now. What are the experiences? I still say I'll definitely rent out the Bill Cornwell spot next to me on the pregame and the postgame. We'll just kick Bill aside. You can, for a fee, of course, and Emily was on with us a few weeks ago. We were joking about this, the Paul Swann experience, and we could tie that in to what's happening at Marshall University. I'll talk to Ryan. We'll see what we can come up with. Quick timeout. We're going to wrap this one up. Get you ready to hunker in. The snow apocalypse is coming. And this is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Cold weather's on its way. And what do you want on those cold, chilly evenings? A warm blanket and a hot cup of cocoa. Well, you know who else wants the same comfort? Mice. Messy, uninvited guests, they sneak in and leave droppings, chew through your food and packages. Don't let mice take over your home this fall and winter. Call K&B Pest Control. We will kill for your business. Call today, 304-523-4281.
Cardinal Chevy kicks off the year of more. More selection, more discounts, more for your trade. Silverados take up to 13 grand off. Tahoes and Suburbans up to 10 grand off. New Equinox from only $269 a month. All EV models have 0% financing. Plus, we will buy or trade any vehicle regardless of remaining payments. New ownership, improved processes, better deals. Better deals. Better deals. The bow tie needs a better buy. Get more at CardinalChevy.com. Together, let's drive. See dealer for details.
Looking for midweek fun? Head to Frank's Place, where every night's a party. Wednesdays are full of brains and brews with trivia night. Grab your crew and show off what you know. Thursdays, crank it up with Singo Bingo. Music meets bingo for prizes and laughs. Then Fridays, we hand you the mic for karaoke night. Sing your heart out and start your weekend right. The fun never stops at Frank's Place. Great drinks, great friends, and good times. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
I'm Naheem Hines, professional football player and proud supporter of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14, and I watched her struggle. But MDA helped her get the best treatments and care, and they also help kids like my buddy Ethan.
My name is Ethan. Thanks to the Muscular Dystrophy Association and people like you, I have more hope than ever before. From day one, they've treated me like family at my local care center. AMDA is the only one that funds over 150 care centers across the U.S. to help provide state-of-the-art care for adults and kids like me.
MDA has been transforming the lives of people living with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and other related neuromuscular diseases. They fund the research for breakthrough treatments, care, and cures. And MDA provides support to thousands of families like mine and Ethan's in communities like yours. Thanks to MDA, kids and adults can live life to its fullest. Join us and learn more at mda.org today.
Well, I finally improved my credit score.
What? The band is about to be discovered. Rock gods don't need to worry about credit scores. We're supposed to think about how many guitars we've smashed, make ridiculous on-tour requests, tragically break up and blame creative differences.
Yeah, I'm not banking my retirement on a band that's never left your garage.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
You're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
We continue on with this Friday edition of Your Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I am your host, Paul Swann. Our text line is 304-396-TALK. 304-396-8255. Final segment. Of course, that means we got time just for a few more texts. We're going to be back with you on Monday. I believe we're going to be back here with you on Monday. Of course, Snowmageddon is coming to the tri-state, and I haven't looked at the weather this week. I just keep, everybody else is telling me, I have sweet little ladies telling me don't go to Kroger. And if I do the Weather Channel zip code search right now, because apparently it's cold in Virginia, let's give it a swim. Let's see what happens here. All right. 28 degrees. Feels like 19. Winter storm warning from Saturday 7 a.m. until Monday at 7 a.m. So that's what it looks like now. The next 48 hours, man, I wish we had a meteorologist like handy right now. So Saturday, just like it says, is cloudy. Snow showers at 4 p.m. on Saturday. And it's going to snow from 4 p.m. Sunday, it's going to snow. There's going to be a wintry mix. Okay, freezing rain. We're getting that. Oh, good. We're all going to be snowed in. So if you've got a snow plow and you want to hear the drive on Monday, you know what to do. Plow my street. Get me here in the studio safely. We'll do the drive on Monday. Or we'll do the show remotely. Who knows? We'll try our very best. But hopefully we're going to be all back here with you on Monday on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. That way we can continue this on and get you updated on everything that's happened over the weekend. It's going to be a really quiet weekend. Other than the swim meet, Herd's coming back home on the road for the women. They are going to have an extra day or so to rest. The men won't be back at it until Wednesday. If the weather permits, they'll be on the road taking on Texas State. So it's going to be a little while before we see the Herd back at the Cam Henderson Center on the men's side. But the women, of course, will have home matches. So still a chance to get out, support the Herd. I think that's about it. We are done. And with a moment to spare, I'm looking at this weather thing. Breaking news. Catastrophic ice, heavy snow to affect over 230 million people. Hopefully we'll be okay. Looking forward to talking to you on Monday. Thanks for being a part of today's show. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully you've had a good week. And if you haven't, let's work to make it better next week. Thank you once again here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. This has been The Drive.
WRBC Huntington, W227BS Huntington, your flagship home of the Marshall Thundering Herd and The Drive with Paul Swann, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.